back to Raised by Her. Please feel free to like and subscribe. We are back for another week.
Yes, we are. Getting ready for that new year, huh?
Yeah. How are you feeling going into 2026?
I'm feeling great. All these wonderful, exciting new things. Our podcast is doing wonderful. We're spending more time together, just really relating to all these different things going on in the world, some things that have been pretty challenging, and yet we have the support of one another. And so
How do you feel like 2025 was
2025
for
was,
you? I mean,
oh,
that right? That is
I thought you
quite a
meant in
general
the
statement,
universe.
actually.
Yes,
No,
yes,
not
yes.
very narrowly. How was
Oh,
2025 for you?
For me, I think it was sort of a mixed bag.
Okay.
I think that the challenges of some things we had talked about at the beginning of the year, having lost your dad and really, um, really navigating through that situation, and then my mom passing mid-year was
There's a
difficult.
lot of loss
So
this year.
a lot of loss, and we had to figure out, I think, how to be able to navigate our lives in a different world without loved ones.
Yeah, with those gaps.
And but we made it. We are here, and God is good. And I'm looking forward to just moving beyond the challenges of 2025.
Okay, so you're like, it was a year, it's over. Thankful for that. Looking forward to what the future holds. Like, happy to be through 2025 and looking forward into to 2026.
I had a massage therapist, say to me that what she can tell from working on my body
Yeah.
and the tension is that my joints, my muscles, and how my body is sort of responding is more relaxed now
Mm,
than it was several months ago when she started doing
working on you.
massages. And so that's the benefit of having someone that you go to on a regular basis, because they can really, I think, they can tell
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going on. So,
Well,
uh,
congratulations on being able to relax some because it's not easy to maybe it's just not easy for me, but it's not necessarily easy to do. And so the fact that she's like, "Oh, I can tell that you're coming in more, I don't know if it's more flexible, more mobile, maybe all the above."
I think it's all of the above, but she said she knew it was intentional as well, because something we talk about often is paying attention and the whole idea of self-care. And so I think all of that is making a difference. And I think that it's important for us as women to be able to identify what we want, and then not to feel guilty about the fact that we are giving ourselves
That part.
something that we want or we need, because that guilt thing is real.
I hear a lot of people talking about it. I wonder, but I'm sometimes I can relate to it, but oftentimes I can't. Maybe it's a result of me watching you go through whatever
Mm.
journey that is, but I feel like I can be quite unapologetic about what it is I want. And it's not always in line with society expectations or familial expectations, but I'm also like, but this is my life.
Well, and uh, that's actually what she and I were talking about. How do you have an opportunity to raise daughters who feel that way? Because she has two daughters. And I said, it has to be intentional for them to be able
Yeah, I think you have
to
to
do
set the
that.
example probably, because that's the only way I would have learned. Otherwise, I would have
Yes.
leaned into the broader narrative of what women
Mhm.
should do and then feel guilty all the
You
time
have to
probably.
use your talents and skills. You must use the opportunities that come your way, and you have to be able to be adventurous and take some chances and some risks, and all of that sounds good, but really, I've tried my best to be able to demonstrate that. And the
I think you've
best thing,
succeeded. Yes, you are quite the risk taker.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, but the best part of all of that is that you absolutely don't look back and go, "I wish I had. Oh, I wished I had done that."
Mhm.
This is an opportunity to be able to say, "I'm so glad I did," or I tried it, it didn't work out. Okay. All
Mhm.
right.
And that's okay,
And
because
that's
then you can
okay.
still move forward. You know that you tried
Yeah.
and yeah, you can
Yeah. Be
pivot.
you and do you.
That's such a good point, actually. So I was in one of my mentorship groups and talking to my mentor one on one, actually, because everybody else had conflicts, and so I was like, "Yes, I get you all to myself." And so I got some personalized time, which always makes me really happy. And so we were able to kind of dive deeper into
Sure.
to me in my 2025. And so one of the things that we've done is we've taken an Enneagram personality test. Have you heard of this?
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
And so it rank is the wrong word, but after taking a series of
Identified,
questions, yes, thank
identify.
you. You identify with a certain number. And so
Right.
you can be this number or that number. And I'm a 3,
Okay.
which is a high achiever. And I think
Really?
there which shocks everybody around me. No, not really. And, so she's actually, also a 3, and one of the things that we do, outside of kind of burning ourselves. Oh, no, let me back up. So I was talking to her about my 2025 and how it had
Mhm.
been very fast paced. I had done a lot. I feel good about it, but I am exhausted. And she was like, "Well, why don't you just kind of pause and rest? And there's no better time than the next than this time because things have slowed down as
Right,
folks
right.
are into the new year and everything." And I was like, "I get that, but a part of me not slowing down is that I remain really excited about the future. And so I want to keep going and doing. And I feel like if I pause or I stop, it's a lot of looking back and reflection. And I meet so many people that they just talk about what was and what used to be. And to me, like your lives are living in the past. Whereas
Mhm.
like, but there's a whole present and a whole future that you have to continue to just build and go. So we kind of talked through some of that. And she was actually like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was in a meeting with a CEO who was talking to the new CEO of this Fortune 50 company, and he was talking about the specific names of the people he worked on and all these amazing things that he had done. And the new CEO was looking at him like, "Who are these? Like, what are you talking about?" He was talking about people
Right.
from the 1990s.
Are you kidding me?
This news, he has no idea what. And so it's
Okay, okay.
anyway, it was a good session for me as I really work on my ability to not burn out and also pause, reflect, and then use those reflections to help me move forward in an intentional and a meaningful and impactful way.
A friend of mine often says that when he's talking to me and I seem busy, I seem engaged, and I seem most of the time like I'm enjoying myself and what it is that I'm doing. I said, "Well, I'm retired from that 50 to 60 hour work week that
Are
I
you?
used to." Like, well, yes, I am.
Okay, all right.
I
If you say
am. I
so.
know, I know. But it's a different kind of busy in terms of the things that I am choosing to do and things I'm choosing to learn and how to be able to kind of go to the next step. And when I hear you talk about high achieving, there's nothing wrong with that. And you do have to take the time to make sure you're not missing something, because if you miss it, then maybe a while before that opportunity comes back again. But if it's meant for you, it will come back. I do know that the universe actually has this game plan. You are supposed to do certain things, but if you miss it, then it may take longer. But that's okay too.
Well, she encouraged me to go back and like reread the profile, both the pros and the cons,
Okay.
the things to look
Of
out
being a
for
number three.
of being a number 3. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, burnout was something to watch for. Also, working on vulnerability is something to watch for too. There's 2 or 3 other things I can't remember, but it was a good reminder because I hadn't gone back to look at it for a while, and so I was like, okay, yes, 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 okay, I get it, I hear you as I'm contemplating what my word is gonna be for 2026 as we go into this new year.
Okay. Have you figured out, are you getting close? Are we down to like the top three words or?
So yes, I'm close. Similar to my process last year, there's a word that has come to me. It came to me in a yoga class actually, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, you've mentioned this to me. Oh my gosh, my therapist has mentioned to me. Oh my gosh, my executive coach has mentioned." I was like,
Perhaps that will be
perhaps
the
it's there, but
word.
I was like,
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with that. We
Okay.
have to figure out another way to interpret
Oh,
it.
one of
So
those kind of words,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. So we'll see. What I will make the decision by the middle to end of January.
Mhm.
So
Oh, you don't
we'll
have
see.
to have that word by January 1st.
I do this exercise with a broader group. And so I will announce what my word is on this podcast after I've had that meeting with them. But we meet probably towards the middle of the month, every month. And so
Is that
once
a
I
support
talk to
group?
leaders, it's a mentorship group.
Okay.
It's national. There's women from all over. Well, there's only 5 of us, and we
Mhm.
were selected several years ago for a mentorship program that was only supposed to last for was it 6 months or a year? And now we are in year 4, and we don't just meet virtually. We also every year, at least once or twice a year, meet in person as well.
Mhm.
And so we are beyond it's beyond a mentorship group now. Actually, we're family, and we're
Mhm.
sisters, and
Oh,
it's
that's great.
yeah, it is great.
Mhm. No,
Yeah.
it's great because you connected and you made the decision that you're going to stay connected. All 5 of you?
All 5 of us, ma and now we all know that this comes down to our leader, that leadership really drives this,
Mhm.
and so, absolutely, all 5 of us are really connected, but then our mentor, is the one who we follow and we ask, and she's helped us tremendously throughout our lives thus far.
Okay, I wanna rewind here because I remember having a conversation with you when you were still living in Washington, DC,
Yeah.
about, a woman that you had read about that, you said, "I really want to meet this woman at some particular time," and you started telling me about why you wanted to meet her and what her career had been like,
Mhm.
and some things that you had read that, that really excited you about this particular individual, and I said to you, "Well, at some point, at the right time, this will manifest because this is something you really seem intentional about." How long from that point, did it take before this person showed up in
Oh,
your life? Do you
you have
remember
such
that?
a good memory, such a good yeah,
Uh-huh.
so it was probably at least 2 or 3 years. I said those things, I mentioned it, and then I went about my career, and then I saw this opportunity through this organization for executive women in communications, women of color in communications, and they had launched this inaugural mentorship program, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just apply and see what happens." I didn't know who the well, we did have an idea of who I think there were like 7 to 8 mentors from around the
It
country.
was a caliber of women in a certain
Yeah, you had to be
category.
C-suite. Yeah,
Yes,
for
yes.
sure. And but I didn't know that ahead of I knew
Mhm.
that it was gonna be C-suite women. I didn't know exactly who these women were going to
That's
be.
exactly right. I remember you
Um,
telling me about the application process and the whole
yeah,
thing.
I mean, and they got from that first year, I think hundreds and hundreds of or no, 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 like, did they hit 1,000? I don't know. They got several applications. They selected 200,
Mhm.
and then split us up in between the different mentors. And that woman who I was manifesting apparently several years later ended up being my mentor, and not just for that particular. Well, I guess it was for that particular program, but it's a program that will now ideally last forever.
So, from that particular manifestation into your life, you not only connected with that woman, but you also have 4 more sisters that you've connected to in life. See, isn't life grand? See how
It
you can
is. It
really,
is.
really, if
It is
you
great. You know what's the coolest thing about that though? Because you know how there's like this saying where you don't want to meet your heroes. She is every bit as cool and authentic and helpful. She is everything that I would have wanted her to be, which I think is really, really cool.
Mhm.
Because that doesn't always happen. Because people say like, "Don't meet your heroes." I won't say she's a hero to me now.
Right, right,
But
right. Well,
don't meet your people.
I think that I believe, and I'm going to interpret that "don't meet your heroes."
Have you heard that before though?
I've heard it. I've heard people refer to it.
Okay.
I have not heard it in a speech or presentation specifically where it is explained.
Okay.
So, how do you interpret that? But let me ask that question before I give you my
I think
opinion.
people say that because, you build people up to a certain, level or expectation, and then you meet them and they don't meet those expectations. They're either rude or they're mean, but you're building something out over something that you don't know them. So you're looking at either what they're putting out to the media or social or whatever it is you think in your head, and then whatever is in your head doesn't always manifest into reality. And so I think when that happens, that's what's disappointing to people. So for example, if you're a child and you love basketball and you're like, oh, I want to meet Michael Jordan or something, and then
Mhm.
you meet him and he doesn't sign, your poster or whatever, and he's rude or he's mean, then you're like, oh, well, then that breaks your heart. That breaks the kid's heart. Because that was his hero, he
Well,
had been looking up
yes,
to him, then
yes.
it's like,
I had someone say to me recently that she used to listen to me when she was a little girl, on the radio, and now here she is, a grown woman, a professional woman who is doing very well, and she said, "I'm having the opportunity to now be up close and personal with someone that, I really admired when I was a little girl," and she said, "Do you know how cool that is?" And I said, "Well, thank you for
yeah.
admiring me. I started out when I was really young.
You get that a
That's
lot,
why
though. People come up to you a lot and say that they admire
well
you, but it is cool to be able to have that full circle
I
moment,
think so. I think because,
and for people to
to
tell
your
you
point,
too. I'm
that's
glad
what
that she told
I
you.
was gonna say, that was just very meaningful to me because what I believed that I was doing is I was doing what I was supposed to be doing and hopefully, being able to touch lives in a positive way, but also to encourage young women, and I guess in this case, little girls too, to, have a voice and to speak out. That was a part of my mission at that particular time so that you can grow and be and do, but also speak out because we have especially, I mean, I grew up in the 50s and 60s, so you weren't always encouraged to
I feel like it's probably a really gentle way of saying that weren't always encouraged. I think y'all were flat out told to,
well, that's true.
what is it?
Yeah,
Shut up and
shut
sit
up.
down,
Yeah,
or
yes, yeah. Be seen and not
be
heard.
seen and not heard. Lord, yes, that one. Yes.
But so it was important to me, but that's really a part of what your grandmother would say too. If you have a voice and you have an opinion, then make sure that you express it because if you don't, that opportunity will miss. You will not have that opportunity again, and it's a missed experience.
I also
So,
think just like tell people how you feel. I was in a meeting this week and everything was going really well and everything, but the energy of this person who I admire a ton was like a little off.
mhm.
And so I ended up sending him a follow-up note just like thanking him for all the things that we had done, all the things that we're going to do in the future, and then also just like telling him about what I had heard about him
Mm,
around the community because he's had
nice.
such a positive impact. And he was
Yes.
like, "Donica, you just don't know. Like, thank you."
Mhm.
But I was so on the fence. I was like, I don't really know how appropriate this is, because you're just like, I don't. We know each other. We don't quite know each other like that. And I was like, just send the email.
Aw.
Just tell him how you
Just
feel.
go ahead and
It's
say
when I
it.
was my promise.
Good for you. See? Take your voice and speak it,
Yes,
and also, people can receive it however they want to. They
that's
can
true.
receive it
That's
in the
true.
way that you mean it. They can receive it based upon the fact of what they are conjuring up in their mind,
Or
but
the day they're having,
or yes, and that may have been, just not only what that person needed, but also,
because leadership is hard.
leadership is hard, especially good leadership
Yeah.
and authenticity,
Yep.
that's like someone said to me, recently, I express myself and then I'm wondering, should I have said that? Is this going to be an opportunity where the person would take I said along the wrong way?
Mhm.
And I said, isn't that up to the other person, how they take it?
You're so right, but I can relate to that because I second guess myself less now than I used to, but I still do it. So particularly as I'm working on being more vulnerable and those types of things,
Mhm.
I'll say something. I'm like, no, I shouldn't have. No, that's not gonna. Oh
Well,
well.
you're not supposed to be unkind. You are supposed to be kind, or you are supposed to speak your truth, but you're supposed to be able to hopefully help in the situation and not make the situation worse. I think that's where we get caught up. I think if you're
Hmm.
saying something and it's hurtful to the other person, that's not good because then you're not helping that person to maybe move to a new space that he or she might need to move to or want to move to and maybe not even knowing.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
no, that's a really good point. I many years ago, I had a therapist tell me because I am quite direct.
really?
Yeah, and I
Yes, you are.
because I also
And you've been that way most of your life.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I just and as I reflect on it as an adult, I'm like, well, what are we, going around words for? Like, this is what needs to be done. Let's say the things and let's get it done. And so I'm like, I can just be brutally honest. And my therapist was like, why do we have to be brutal? Why can't we just be honest? And I was like, I had never thought of it that way, but you're right. That is an excellent reframing of how to just
Yes,
like
yes.
be direct, be honest, but like, just maybe take a little of the edge off.
I can so relate to that particular comment, and thank you to the therapist for sharing that with
Yeah,
you.
she's awesome too. She's out of
So,
London. Shout out there.
this time in my life where I was working in public television, and the general manager um, called me into the office. I was producing a show, and he called me into the office, and he said, "I have something for you," and he gives me a copy of a memo that I had written to the rest of the production staff. And
Mm,
he had it all marked up with these red marks and different words. And I said, what did you do to my memo?
mhm.
And he said, you really upset some of the people that you work with. And I said, I didn't mean to upset them. I'm producer of the program. I'm supposed to have a certain kind of standard, and you like the program. And he said, I'm not really upset about what you said. I'm upset about how you said it. And when you take this memo, I want you to go back. I want you to look at the comments
Mm,
that I have written. And as just an exercise, I want you to rewrite this memo. So I begrudgingly, I did it. I brought it back to him at some particular moment, and he said, "Now, you said the exact same thing, and how you said it was in a kinder and gentler manner. And if your team had received it in this way, they would not have been upset." And someone coming to me, him
and
as
this
the
is
general
written
manager.
communication?
Yes,
I
this
feel
was
like
written.
that's even harder. Um, I mean, for like, so it's because you never,
You don't know how someone's going to
you don't
take
know how
it.
someone's gonna take it. It's like reading a text message versus reading an
I
email
know,
versus,
right?
you know what you would have benefited from. It's something that I benefit from now. Like I'll draft an email, then I'll put it in Chat GPT and be like, make this nicer.
Yeah, so we didn't even have computers that had
You
any
have
idea.
computers. You were having to type
Yes,
on a typewriter.
that's exactly right. So, yeah, this that was
No, I'm just saying
but
it would have
it
helped
would
probably.
have helped, but it was a really good management lesson for
Sure.
me
Yeah.
because this was early on in my career, and, I mean, it was really the same thing, it was just said in a kinder, gentler way. So, I learned something from the experience. My feelings were hurt. I mean, I was called into the general manager's office, but, yeah, I did learn something.
I also think it depends though, like on the it depends on the industry as well. So when I started my well, early in my career I was on Capitol Hill.
Mhm,
And then I transitioned into multinational companies and
mhm,
corporate.
mhm.
And so one of my bosses came to me at some point and was like, your emails are just really direct. And I was like, well, how would you want me to say it differently? And she was like, well, can you add in a smiley face or something?
What?
And I was like, "Ma'am, I came from Capitol Hill. There are no smiley faces on Capitol Hill. Like, what are you
Especially
asking me to
today.
do?"
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so
That's
I'm
an
just like,
aside, right?
so I did eventually have to edit myself into corporate speak, but
Mhm.
but that wouldn't fly, as a
Yeah.
lawyer on Capitol Hill
Okay,
either. So I also
okay.
think it's just like, and my directness there, I probably piece of it obviously is just like who I am, but also is how I was trained.
I think
The
so.
literal language matters.
The idea of excellence and the idea of how you communicate it, I think is what both bosses were trying to tell us. You probably 50 years later after after my
A
experience,
generational
but
issue? Is
yeah,
that
I
what
think it's not only a generational issue, but I think it's a communication issue with how you're using your words. So, you said there are no smiley faces on
Yeah, I'm like, "What are you
on
talking about?
Capitol
Are
Hill.
you outta here?" It took me a while
Right, right.
to navigate into to the corporate sphere, if I ever truly did. That is probably still
No,
to
I think you
be
did,
determined.
because I think the promotions that you received, and I think you had individuals that reached out to you, going from one company to
That's true, I
another.
had several
So,
champions, that's
yeah,
true.
so I think, yeah, it works. It's,
It worked out. I learned along the way.
yeah, well, I think we all do. If we pay attention,
Yeah.
I think that's good. That's
I use
important.
smiley faces now.
See?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I do too, even in memos.
Alright, so that's one of the things we're gonna take into 2026 with us. We are gonna use some smiley faces in 2026
Hmm.
as we continue to soften a little bit.
I think that's good. Yeah. Do you do resolutions?
I don't do resolutions. I don't know if I ever did resolutions in a serious way. I feel like that's something that's impressed upon you as something that people do early on. And so I think I probably tried at the beginning of the year
Mhm.
many years ago, but it's not something I ever took seriously. What about you?
The exact same.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say I'm going to do certain kinds of things. I'm going to lose 25 pounds and I'm going
Hmm.
to go to the gym 3 times a week and, those things. And that might last maybe a month or two,
Hmm.
or I'm going to um, eat more spinach,
Yeah,
whatever,
right,
whatever
humor, so yeah.
the whole thing. I will tell you that I read about um, a woman who decided that she was going to do more writing of letters, that we have become a society now that corresponds very quickly in our emails or whatever kind of communication is short, sweet, and to the point.
Mhm.
And
My
she
style.
said, she,
Let's
well,
get
and she
going.
said she had letters that her grandmother and her mother had written her, and then she thought, my children have no idea of nice long letters, and so she decided to do that, and it made such a difference in the communication between her and her children.
Oh, that's interesting.
And she said it was sort of like journaling, but also with the intent of sharing either the experience or sharing her personality with her offspring. And she said, and when I'm no longer here, just like I have the letters that my mother wrote me or my grandmother wrote, they'll have something that is to remember me by in a certain kind of. And I
That's
thought
sweet.
that, yeah. And so I thought, it's not a resolution. That was something that she did intentionally,
An
but it could only
activity.
be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean that reminds me of my father was sick before he passed away in that final year. I was looking for ways to kind of capture some of his stories
Hmm.
and things like that. So they have all types of different services out there
Hmm.
that I don't know if they're letter writing services per se, but like they're voice, and so you can
Okay.
record memories. There's like different prompts, and
Hmm.
you can do it strictly digitally. You can do it you can record it in some other ways, and
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's
All right.
cool. There are a lot of different services out there. People are looking for different ways to tell their stories, either for themselves or for others or for their children. Or um, yeah, that's a cool activity to do. Very meaningful generationally.
I think so.
Yeah,
Generationally.
I mean, because that's you're not just doing. It depends on what you're recording, I suppose, but I can see how a child would really enjoy that, or like grandchildren would be really interested to
Hmm.
see what was my grandmother's personality when she was in her 40s or in her 30s or
Yeah.
50s or
So
whatever.
kind of keep that in mind.
Oh, okay, like, 'cause we need another thing to record.
Well, we might, hey, hey, listen, this is
Oh my
the
goodness.
age of digital communication. What can we say?
Yeah, but it's I would, just also add some context that it's not from my perspective, it's not as easy as just like, it has to be one of your favorite words is intentional, but it takes time and effort and thoughtfulness, and then you also have to have the literacy to navigate the digital tools. Like, I did make it probably seem simpler than I mean, I'm sure the companies make it as simple as possible, but, like, it's also it's extra work.
And that's okay.
We know that you do not mind extra work. You
Well,
are
I
here
know
for the
that
extra
in order
work.
to reach a goal, you have to put work into it.
That's true. That's true. Right, if it's something that you really wanna do, then yeah, you can get it done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
That's true. I think it's that want piece. It's the is it what you want? Is
Is
it
it
how you
what you
wanna
want?
spend your time?
Right. Right. Because we all have the same 24 hours every day, even though some people think that maybe that you have 28 hours because you're up at what, 5 o'clock in the morning going to the gym
Which
and
is a choice.
exercising.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that reminder that everybody has 24 hours in a day.
The
When people's
same
the
24
same yes,
hours.
absolutely. Because when people are like, I'm busy. We would actually had this conversation because we were talking about how everybody's perspective of success is different. But I have found in my life thus far, the people who I view as the most successful, they respond the fastest, they are the quickest, it's not, "Oh, I'll, like, 2 weeks late," like, things just get done at a pace, and I was like, "That's how you can get so much stuff done in 24 hours." It's not whatever else, I don't I different people operate differently, but that's always at the top of my mind, and it's something I look for, when I'm working with people. I'm like, "How fast are you to
I
respond?"
just watched an interview with Mellody uh, Hobson. She is a financial wizard. She's African American woman who is one of the experts in terms of financial advising.
Oh, yeah, she's everything. I follow her on Instagram.
Okay, well,
She's
I
also married to George Lucas.
she's married to George Lucas,
Which
and
probably is one of the least interesting things about her, which is really cool.
which
That's what I'm
is
saying. That's
that's
how
exactly
amazing
right.
she is.
That is absolutely how amazing she is,
Yeah.
and years ago when I was in broadcasting, she too she was an investor. And so we were on a panel together. And I remember that not only, and she was a little woman, she was
Okay.
slight but she was powerful with her presentation and her advice. And a part of what I was really impressed by is how much she knew about the financial world.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, she's an owner, I'm an owner, but she sounded like she knew so much, and she did,
Mhm.
because of her background and her experience. A part of what she thought was really important is for not only women to be more informed, but to study. And she said, work hard at it now, because if you work hard at it now, later in life, it will come easy to
Sure.
you. So when you're talking about working and working hard, it just reminds me of that being a part of her advice. Also, in the recent interview that I was watching, she said, this was funny to me. She said, I eliminated the word try. You either do it or
Yes!
you don't.
That is something from Star Wars, from Yoda as well. There is no try. I heard that in middle school, and I started reciting it to some teachers, and I got in trouble.
What? What do you mean you
Yeah,
got into trouble?
because they said that wasn't reality.
Well, I know her point was that she has used that advice, and it's funny because, during the interview, they showed the picture of Yoda.
Oh, did they? Okay, yeah, yeah, it's still excellent advice, though.
Well,
I just
that's
miss what my middle school teacher. I can, yes, I dismiss that in totality
but
because I
I was
agree.
thinking about it, and then I wrote it down, and I began to just say, "You know what? That makes such sense." Because when you say, "I will try," that gives you an out.
Mhm,
What Melody was talking about is there is no out.
mhm. That's
Either you
right,
do it
or you don't.
or you don't. And so I was reminded of that. So such a cool sister. I mean, she
Yeah,
just
I believe
yeah.
it.
They asked her about being married to George Lucas, and someone who is highly creative and so successful. And she said, "We've had a good life because we complement each other in terms of our skill sets. But he allows me to be me,
Yeah,
and I'm now not the only Black girl in the group. There are
good.
many others
Yeah,
now, but back when they first got together, they were pretty unique."
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool
so
couple.
mhm, yeah, it is. Good.
So, let's see, other things in 2020. Wait, you have an upcoming party,
I do, yes.
and we were talking about this because it's a little different than how you usually party.
Yes, it's a day party.
You are the partier between the 2 of us, by the way, and I love that for you.
Well, I said I was going to get out more and do more and be, similar to the old me.
Okay, okay.
So, although this is the new me, but
Yeah, that's
yeah, but,
right.
so
Cool.
a day party, and, it was cool because the idea is to start partying at 11 o'clock and then go into early afternoon. And I had heard about young people doing this,
Mhm.
but I have was not familiar with people who are in their 50s,
Y'all still
60s
like to go out at, like,
doing them.
9 PM or 10 PM?
No, probably
Probably not
5 or
3
6 or
5 or
7.
6, yeah, okay, okay.
But this is it's a cool experience. One, you're not tired. Two, you have an opportunity to do all the same things that you
Mhm.
do later at night. And are you familiar with day parties?
Yeah, I would say I became most familiar with them in college. There's a massive brunch culture in
Okay. Okay.
larger cities, so, excellent brunches in Atlanta, excellent brunches in DC, and so that obviously stems around the day. Now, I will say if you spend your, 10 AM to 3 PM hours drinking mimosas and eating omelets, it does make for a challenging I mean, then you were done for the
Right,
day.
right, right. Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, there's some folks that persevered and could go, but that was not me. I have, one activity in me. So we are either in the day party or the night party. But I prefer a day party for that reason. And I think but that's changed. I used to love nighttime. In my 20s, and early 30s, I
Mhm.
enjoyed like being out at night. But now I could be at your 70s, 80s, 60s. day party.
Well, the fact that you're out doing the line dances and it's, 1 o'clock in the afternoon and, everybody's moving and all dressed up because the attire was make sure that you look holiday festive and all
Yeah.
of those things. So it was kind of cool. But I will tell you that my mom and dad used to have what we call now a day party. New Year's Day, for many years, they invited all of their clients. They, of course, they were in real estate business, so they
Mhm.
invite their sales force and family and friends, and 100 people or more would come by New Year's Day starting at 12 noon and party all day long. And I thought, wow. So
Well, now
again, mommy was before her time.
yes, she was, but I don't now all day long to me doesn't read day party, though. Like, there
Really?
is a stop time
Oh,
to my day party because for me, like, the positive of it is that I will be able to go to bed at a reasonable hour and still have it tomorrow. And if
well,
we are
okay.
partying all day long, then that eliminates my tomorrow because 'cause I'll be
What
exhausted.
was cool about this was New Year's Day, and
Okay.
it started at 12 noon. And now the people who came probably later in the day had been up all night because it was
Right,
New
they
Year's.
slept in.
But she had all these positive sayings, and she had quotes, and she served something called Kentucky Burgoo soup, which was something that
Now
she
say what
made.
now?
It was it was called Kentucky Burgoo. It was a soup that from the state of Kentucky that had lots of different ingredients in it. It would sort of remind you of New Orleans, kind of dish, but anyway, it was good, it was wonderful, and so people would come, and then,
If you say
this
so. Even though I'm sure I was at these parties, I can guess that I probably never once tasted
Kentucky
Kentucky
burgoo
Burdu s
burgoo
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 soup.
soup. Look
Yeah.
it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it has some of everything in it, just like gumbo does, some of everything, but that was a part of it, and, of course, there is the tradition, to have, beans and to have some kind of
Oh, the black eyed peas?
black eyed peas, and the pork, and to start out the new year too. So she
Are
had all.
chitlins a New Year's thing?
For some they are, not for me, but
I feel
because
like
the
we have family members that
oh
have
yeah,
either
yeah,
suggested that.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. So
Do you remember your first time being exposed to chitlins?
yes, Aunt Ruby,
Ah, oh, Ruby was the best
Aunt
cook.
Ruby, Aunt Ruby. Yes, yes.
Did she,
Um,
were you in the house while she was cooking them, or did she have you clean them? Because Aunt Ruby liked to, have everybody join in the experience too.
she did. And no, I was not around when she was cleaning them.
Good.
I
No, I'm just
probably
saying, I'm like,
I
how deep
probably
did you
not would have
go?
even I
Okay.
probably not would have not tried it. And I
Oh, have
don't
you
think.
tried it?
Well, yes, that's why I've
What do they
never
taste
eaten
like?
something that I've never eaten again. So
Okay.
it's not one of my delicacies,
I see.
but it was cool. It was because I could say the one time that I did,
That you've done
I
it.
don't think I knew what it was at the
They
time.
probably didn't tell that's
They
true.
probably
Yeah,
didn't,
that's
and
fair.
so being from the South, some people say it's a delicacy because this is
This
what
might
we
have been New
have.
Year's. I walked into one of my uncle's houses, and I didn't wanna be rude, but I was like, "What is that smell?"
Hmm,
I must have,
hmm,
like, whispered it to a cousin or something. They were like, "Oh, that's chitlins," and I was
hmm.
like, "This is what everybody's been talking about."
Yeah, it's a cultural thing, so.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so
You're like,
in
"Back party, party."
2026, try a day party if you haven't
Oh,
done one.
yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah. I mean, again, that's the preference. As a
mhm.
matter of fact, if you ask me to go somewhere after 9 p.m., the likelihood of me saying yes is it continues to decline. It really
But
does.
you're just going into your early 40s. You should be able to, you know, party like you just don't care.
I have an equal number of people telling me that I am so young, but then also so old. So I don't know what I keep asking. I'm like, so which one am I at 39? Am I young, to be, in these rooms, or am I so old as all like the college students who are like, what? You were
Well,
born in the
I think
80s?
part of
What are you
it
talking
was the fact that you've been an old soul ever since you were a little girl.
about? I am a
So,
little elder, it's true.
and so it that's a part of what I think they're saying. And then you look young, and so that's good. You take good care of yourself. And I think that helps. I think the sounding old has to do with all those things that you say you won't do or you can't do or you're tired of doing. So
I don't think it won't do.
So,
But okay,
anyway,
in 2026, I will commit to 1 day party and 1 nighttime party.
for the whole year? Three
I mean,
360 wait a
mhm,
minute.
I can, I might do more.
Okay. Oh, you might do more. Okay,
Mhm,
you're gonna be
mhm, but I
open.
can commit to.
Oh, I see. Okay. All
Yes,
right, so
with a smiley
all
face.
right, with a smiley face.
Yes, the smiley.
That's good. As we prepare for, what the universe has for us and how exciting we're going to embrace those different opportunities and everything, maybe with some new fashion sense. What about that?
What's wrong with my clothes? By the way, I never mind, don't answer that question because that is just gonna hurt my feel you and my husband read me for days about my clothes. So, here we
We
are.
have not had a conversation.
I know I understand my role as the least fashionable person in our immediate family. It's true.
I don't think that least fashionable would be what I would describe.
Well, between you 2, I mean,
I think that the embracing of more and more casualness as you have moved from Capitol Hill and then moved from corporate, I think you just really decided to just move to another whole level. So,
well,
but
I think that, it's not just the nature of the work, I think it's also to your point, just like generationally, I'm a millennial, and I think younger generations are embracing being more we wanna be comfortable. Like, what do you care about? Do you care about the work? Or do you care about what we look now, I don't wanna act like what you look like and how you present and what you wear doesn't matter because I am highly aware that it does, particularly for women, um, and I do like my things, it's just I find shopping to be exhausting. And now with online shopping, it's better. It the way you were looking at me is hilarious, by the way. So, I'm just like, 'cause like, my husband is a shopper. You are a shopper. I don't know if I would describe myself as a shopper.
well, I would say that I shop in two ways. If there's something I need because I am going a particular place and I want to make sure that I am um, playing the part or looking the part or
Mhm.
having the part so that I'm comfortable. I shop for me, I shop for comfort, but I also I like to be able to take the time to look a certain kind of way. I always have,
Yes,
yeah. So
yes, you always have. I think I operate in extremes. I think I am either looking the way I want to look and present excellently, or I am, in baggy sweats. That could be my husband's clothes, could be my dad's clothes. I adjust and I am peak
what
comfort.
does your husband say about your fashion sense?
He had lots of comments at the beginning of our relationship, but they didn't move me one way or another. So probably at this point, he's like, "Well, clearly she's gonna do what she wants to do." Um, but also I think it has to do with like some body positivity things as well. Like, so when I am more fit and feeling better, I think I dress better and I look better and I wear more form-fitting things and I'm not wearing what I have been told I sometimes like wear bags of clothes and things like that. So
Yeah.
that plays a role for me as well.
Well, I can tell you that, and perhaps it's my fault because you rebelled as a child. I used to dress you in these cute little outfits, and I'd have hats and everything. And 2 minutes after I put the hat on you, I don't even know how you got it off so fast.
Like, wasn't there a
So,
hat with that
yeah,
outfit?
exactly, exactly. But and then you went to, I think, somewhat extreme when you began to go to college to be more and more
I mean, I wouldn't
casual.
call
Yeah.
it extreme, but I would say I've become like that's been consistent. Like
Mhm.
in college, I was either dressing to go to whatever work or out with friends or things, or when I was going to class, I was in my sweats and
All the time.
all the time. But also in part, that's functional because that's also where I started my workout routine
Ah,
outside of
okay.
well within sports, but also outside of sports too, and it's just
Mhm,
more practical.
mhm.
And you're like, uh huh, okay, if you say so.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but I mean,
I
it's
get
comfort.
it.
I wanted to be able to run around campus in a certain type of way, you know? It just and
And
it
you
was I
did.
did, and I did.
And it was probably beneficial to be at an all-girls school too because you were not dressing for attention from the male, um, the
The male gaze, but also,
yeah.
I mean, I went straight from undergrad into law school, and I don't know that my aesthetic I I think I graduated from to sweatshirts and leggings versus baggy, sweatpants and bag,
Mhm.
but still, the sweatshirt never changed.
You probably still have it today.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So, but I think it's important for individuals to not only be comfortable, but also what is the statement that you want to make based on how you look. So, if you spend all the time that you need to on making sure that you are healthy, that you are taking care of your body in the ways that we've talked about, then you can complement all that good hard work and all those wonderful, really healthy meals that you have by dressing a certain kind of way so that you feel good, so
I
you
mean,
feel
how did you get
comfortable.
your fashion sense? Because you've always been, extremely fashionable.
That was something that I think my
You're
mother
born with
had.
it?
No,
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
no, mommy had it,
Oh,
and
okay.
she was a little fashionista at her 4'11", so,
Okay.
and she liked to, to dress, and so I like to dress, and we like to shop, and, at a certain point she used to take you shopping, remember?
Oh,
And
yeah,
think
yeah.
about how she would dress when she would take you shopping.
That's true, yes, sometimes in all leather, which
Yes,
is
your
yeah, which
grandmother
is really
in
true.
all leather,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
she looked good. I'm
Mhm,
not mad at it.
mhm. And a
Um,
hat, she'd have she'd always have a hat on, and yeah.
yes, that's true. Yeah, I think but it must be a comfort thing because I can do all of what you do and what my grandmother did, but I just doing it all the time, I do find to be exhausting.
Mhm. Yes,
But you're
okay.
like, "Donica, you find everything to be
That
exhausting,
was
so
exactly
whatever."
my thought. That
I
was
see it on your
exactly
face.
the thought, but I
I
said,
see
"I'm
it
not
on
gonna
your
say that. I'm not gonna say that
face.
because I love you for who you are, and I raised you to be who you are." So, but that's okay. What we want
That's
is
funny.
for folks to just, you know, be them. Do what they want to do and be comfortable with it. But I brought it up because I think that a part of your creative, imaginative side can be really expressed in the clothes you wear and how you look. And so a part of my intention in 2026 is to really go back and do some of those creative things that I used to do and some fun things. And so, yeah. So
You're gonna
watch
and
out.
yeah, I mean, and I'm like, you're going to do this through fashion? Oh my gosh, no, I really can't wait.
Well,
Um,
fashion and whatever,
Fashion and whatever.
you know,
But, I so you say, like, own who you are through
express
fashion,
yourself.
express
Mhm.
yourself through fashion. This came up in a leadership program, that I'm in for. It's for women, but actually that might be moot. Um, and the idea of bringing your whole self to work. And so for me, like when you said express yourself through fashion, I'm like, well, sometimes, but don't show you don't necessarily show up looking crazy to a workplace, but then looking crazy means different things to different people.
Well, we talked about Michelle Obama's book, The Look. And one of the comments that she made in the book was that regardless of what she said, before anyone would absolutely hear her,
Yeah.
they commented on the way she looked.
So just keep that in mind till I was gonna say young people, but I guess like people in general, like it
People
does
in
matter.
general.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes. And she felt comfortable, Michelle Obama, comfortable now to write the book because she wanted us, those who had an opportunity to not only admire her from afar, but today to be able to understand how you look impacts what you say,
Mhm.
how people listen, how you present yourself, how seriously you're taken in a given situation. Is it fair? No. Is it right? Not necessarily, but it is. And so, in a society where everybody has a camera, and we said earlier, everybody has an opinion,
Mhm.
so just decide what you want your statement to be. That's why I
Love
think
that.
it's important.
I mean, period. Can't say anything
All
other than
right.
that.
So, off and running in 2026.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
I
Year.
will see you in
Yes, we
2026.
look forward to it.
Yes, please feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the conversation, and we will see you next week.
She's got wisdom, she's got sass, she's got questions.